There is an almost invisible detail that silently shapes how each person is perceived in daily interactions. It is not about appearance, status, or knowledge, but something much more subtle, the way someone responds in simple moments. Interestingly, small automatic responses carry deep signals about presence, attention, and even emotional maturity. And it is precisely in these everyday moments that communication reveals far more than it seems. But do such common words really influence how we are seen? And is it possible to transform relationships just by adjusting seemingly insignificant responses? The answer is yes to both. Language does not only transmit information, it communicates intention, posture, and awareness. By changing small phrases, the energy of interactions also changes, creating more respectful, confident, and pleasant connections. In daily life, this appears in simple situations. When someone expresses gratitude, many people respond automatically, quickly closing the moment. However, by replacing that reaction with a warmer response, such as expressing pleasure in helping, the impact changes completely. Instead of sounding like an obligation, the attitude begins to convey willingness and kindness. If this insight has already brought value to you, take a moment to like, subscribe, and share, because small changes like this can completely transform how you show up in your relationships. Something similar happens when a delay occurs. The natural tendency is to apologize, focusing on the mistake. However, by acknowledging the patience of the person who waited, the situation transforms. The conversation no longer carries a negative tone and instead reflects respect. This simple adjustment changes the perception of the moment and demonstrates consideration in a more elegant way. Informal situations also reveal a lot. When someone asks for an opinion and the answer shows indecision, it may convey lack of presence or interest. On the other hand, showing trust in the other person's choice brings lightness and strengthens bonds. Small signs of appreciation often create stronger connections than long speeches. In environments where challenges or unfamiliar tasks arise, the difference is also clear. Instead of reinforcing limitations, adopting an open attitude toward learning conveys confidence and growth. People who show willingness to learn are often seen as more capable, even without immediate mastery. This reflects a mindset focused on development, something highly valued in any context. When there is no immediate answer to a question, many people end the conversation quickly. However, by turning that moment into an exchange of ideas, dialogue is created. Inviting the other person to reflect makes the interaction richer and more meaningful. This openness shows humility without losing presence. Another important point appears when receiving compliments. Many people try to minimize recognition as if that were a sign of modesty. However, accepting it naturally demonstrates emotional balance. A simple thank you values both the person who gives the compliment and the one who receives it, strengthening mutual respect. Even in moments of generosity, such as hosting someone, the way of responding makes a difference. Instead of justifying abundance, expressing joy in providing something good conveys genuine hospitality. True generosity does not need explanation. It is simply expressed through intention. In the end, everything comes down to awareness. Communication does not require complex words, but more conscious choices. Every phrase carries a message beyond the obvious, revealing confidence, consideration, or the lack of them. By adjusting these details, conversations become smoother, relationships healthier, and presence more impactful. If this reflection made sense to you, leave a like, share it with someone who also wants to improve their communication, and subscribe to continue developing clarity, balance, and emotional maturity in your daily life.